So the story today is about our trampoline. We bought it almost 3 years ago, and when we initially got it and started assembling, me and my wife realized just how big it is, and it was a little bit of a shock, and we even considered sending it back, but it turned out great, thankfully. We probably would have sent it back, but it's just such a big package that it's really a pain to return. So it's funny that this is probably the reason that the trampoline stayed. And we're starting third season with the trampoline, and it's so much fun. With kids, even 1-year-old can have fun on a trampoline, and then, up to 10 years, and even adult guests when they come over, some folks really enjoy the time there. And for kids, we had, I think, up to 4 kids on a trampoline at the same time. And it also works with 1 adult and 1 kid very well. Of course, you can crowd more people, but it's just wouldn't be enough space to move. I don't think there's something special about Ampel 24. It looks very much the same as other trampolines, but maybe just a little bit more sturdy and higher quality gear. I'm not sure. The metal parts are not a tight fit, so when you connect all the metal parts, they're kind of ramble and cannot be tightened. And this shows as squeaking if you don't apply any grease to the metal connections. The size of the trampoline, 3 meters, I think is the best one. We tried some of the bigger trampolines and they weren't as good in terms of pushing you up in the air. When it gets smaller than 3 meters, I think there's just not enough space to do some of the tricks. So 3 meters is like the best option, I'd say. The legs of the trampoline are not great if you want to put it on a grass, meaning that if it stays there for more than a week in the same spot, then you will have holes in your lawn. I was always combating this in the past 2 seasons by moving the trampoline every few days just a little bit so that the 4 metal legs are not in the same spot, just slightly to the side. But this season I try something different. Instead of mounting the 4 bottom legs, I just mounted 8 round supports made out of multiplex plywood, so they kind of have a bigger area to distribute the weight. We had it already for a few weeks, and it's clearly visible that the grass is not getting damaged just as much as by the old legs. The problem is with the new legs, of course, is that the trampoline is lower, so an adult cannot do some of the tricks anymore because you just simply hit the ground. Another thing about the legs is that when you install the netting, there is one section in the net that opens. So you need to make sure that the section that opens does not go over the leg, because if you have kids who would be falling out of that opening, they would fall down on the metal leg, which is worse than just falling on the grass. Another problem about using trampoline without bottom legs is that the vertical bars that keep the net no longer stay parallel to each other as much as they did before, so the trampoline doesn't look as good anymore. Because we were disassembling the trampoline and storing it in a dry and warm space over the winter, it is in a very good shape after 2 seasons, and so in the 3rd season it's going as new. But you might get different results if you store it outside year-round. Also, if you keep your trampoline on asphalt or concrete, I'd imagine the legs will get scratched up and rusted much quicker. Overall, we love our trampoline, and if you're thinking about getting one and you actually have a place to put it, you should definitely get it.